too. There's a ton of these sort of micro cap tokens that are complete garbage, but you end up getting a couple special ones out of there.
Yep.
And then that's what, like, you can look at the top. You can go on Nomics or CoinGecko, and 95% of those cryptos aren't going to be here in like 5 years.
Yeah.
It's just the way of the game, you know.
Yeah, funny number game here. Back in the last cycle, the coin ranking sites, they used to have like what 2,500 total cryptocurrencies,
right?
And I think now it's upwards of maybe 25,000 or something like that. Exponentially increased on just shit across all of these different chains and stuff like that. It's it just goes to show, right? So
a lot of those aren't going to succeed. Yeah, a lot of coins like pets.com, basically, just a lot of failed dreams and tears.
Yeah, come on.
That's why I started a box wine company.
Pets.com is.
Say it again.
Is that a new hot alt? Sir? Excuse me.
Well, now it is.
Well,
that's funny. Yeah, I agree with you guys. I think the majority of the stuff on PulseChain is pretty terrible, and hopefully there will be some good ones. I would like us to be one of those things. And I think what we're doing is pretty hard. It's cutting edge DeFi stuff, right? It involves oracles, liquidations. So if we are the ones that prove that you can do it on PulseChain and make a ton of money out of it, I think you'll get a lot of other people come over and do it.
Yep.
Otherwise you'll get a lot of insincere people who will basically rug pull or exploit scam. So they'll pretend to launch a protocol and then they'll basically just manipulate it so that they steal everybody's money and walk away.
So right? Binance Chain and Solana, right?
Basically
what happened there.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So I think at least with this stuff, you'll know who's responsible. It's us, and we're
Dylan's fault the whole time.
Building. Well, I'll blame everything on Dylan. Obviously. No, I mean
I do it for the Gucci jacket.
Yeah, I can't believe you buy a Gucci jacket, but I think it's very good that at least we can hopefully set a good example. This is stuff that Richard didn't even want to touch, right?
Yeah.
Because it is sort of cutting edge. There is risk involved with oracles. There is risk involved with all this stuff. Like forking cake, not a lot of risk involved in that, right?
Have there? You guys were saying you're kind of looking around the corner at risks and stuff like that. When you see PulseChain launching and all this stuff going on that you guys are trying to do here over the next either few months or the rest of this year, whatever the timeline is, what do you see as kind of like the biggest risks that you guys are trying to mitigate as you guys launch, or maybe is that like, is there a portion that you might not want to talk about? You might want to talk about, I don't know, but I'm just kind of wondering how you guys are looking at the launch, because it might be a little complex in terms of all of this stuff, trying to come out, within a short period of time.
So we will think about the things that are likely to be highly volatile when PulseChain forks. So specifically Hex and Hedron as examples. We will probably freeze those pools before the fork occurs. So when Richard announces that it's coming, we'll probably freeze those pools so that you can't take new positions in them. So you can basically withdraw. And we'll keep the overall size of those positions relatively small, most likely for the first few months that we're running. So that's just an example of that, and we'll disclose all this before the protocol is even live on our website.
Gotcha.
Just so that everybody understands this is our plan. A lot of people are thinking, oh great, I'm going to come game the fuck out of this thing, right? We're not going to let you do that. We've already thought this through, guys. So there's not going to be a clever way to steal everybody's money because of that. And we can just focus as well on just competing with Aave on Ethereum. If we provide a slightly better deposit rate, which is sort of the law of supply and demand, we will likely get people to come use our protocol, right? If you get 1% on Aave and there's not enough borrowing on fiat, and the deposit rate's 2%, you're going to get people coming over and using it, right? So in a way, it's like if we can even just get 1% of Aave's fees, like that's a huge win, right?
Yep.
And also we want to just bring in a lot of new users as well, right? So I think when you actually have a token trading I think there's going to be some rapid appreciation, and I hope to see at least. And that brings in people who don't even care about what you are, or why you're doing it.
Yeah.
So let me ask a question, like a complete novice, like I don't know anything about the token or anything like that, right? Not that hard. Now, no. So let's just say someone gets, like, let's just say it's eFiat's live. It's on Uniswap. You can just buy it and stuff. And okay, I buy it. What do I do? Just buy and hold? Can I do something with it? What can I do with the token?
Yeah, so you can take that token and you can stake it, and you can earn a share of the revenue generated by the platform, right? So, 50% of the revenue generated from borrowers is given to the stakers of the fiat token, right?
Right.
And that comes in a range of different currencies, right? So that comes in, if there's a lot of hex being borrowed, then you'll get hex rewards. If there's a lot of hedron being borrowed, same thing, or USDC or anything like that, you get basically like a basket of coins that you can claim. You can claim it every hour if you wanted. It's not like a daily payout kind of thing. It's whenever you want to claim it and stuff like that. Right. And it gets automatically moved over to your collateral, right? So when you claim it, basically it turns into your collateral, at which point then you can withdraw and do as you see fit, right, with those tokens. So generating hard cash, right, instead of inflation.
Yeah, and this is sort of a trend of tokens that we've seen that has, like, for a lack of a better name, like business tokens, basically, in a way where the token holders actually get something, unlike something like Uniswap where you can vote on some things, but some people, other entities control so much of the token that your vote is basically null and void. It doesn't do anything at all. Yep. So is there going to be a voting thing to the side of the system, or is it just primarily just a revenue share of a token?
So at the moment, it's just revenue share, but it could turn into something like that in the future. But at the moment, it's just
it will. But we'll always have a pretty good influence over that, and we have to be very careful about what we do. So we think having strategic centralization, if you think about it, is a good idea for the time being. But the idea is to get it more decentralized over time. But in the early days of PulseChain, you don't want a community of degens voting on which shitcoin to add.
Okay, now I know. Now I feel that's haram. I feel attacked now. Okay.